Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number something. I'm going to say 17, 18. 17? 18. One of them. Doesn't matter. We got a pretty stellar episode. Well, I hope it's a stellar one because I said that last week and it was complete dog shit. But that's in the past now. We're here. We're at Dynamite. Following Dynamite, we got Battle of the Belts. Following Battle of the Belts, we've got Collision. So it's a bumper episode today, you lucky, lucky people. But first, as always, let's take a look at those backstage incidents. Oh, and Chris Jericho has one. Chris Jericho was in fine form, keeping everyone in a great mood with his hilarious road stories. And, I mean, he probably has some great stories, let's be honest. And then Emi Sakura is passing on psychology tips to Riho. Nice, nice, nice. Let's head straight into Dynamite. And here we are. We are in the pre-show with a tag team match. Forgot to mention, we're in Sam's Town, Las Vegas Arena. Pretty cool name for an arena if you ask me. But forget about the arena. Let's take a look at this opening match. It's Riho and Yuka Sakazaki defeating Allison Kay and Billy Starks in 8 minutes when Riho pins Allison Kay with a jumping knee attack. Riho and Sakazaki in high 50s, doing well. They're starting to build a pretty good partnership, I think. I've put them in a few matches together now, and they seem to be getting better each time we see them. Although Yuka does sometimes jump into the 60s, so that's always lovely to see. Billy and Allison Kay, low 40s, it's fine. They were kind of there to eat a pin, so we'll take it. 56 overall, though, pretty good. Following this, we have our final pre-show match, which is Cedric Alexander again. Hasn't made it to the main show yet. And this time he defeats Jeff Hardy in just over 9 minutes with a kick to kill. That's a very aggressive move. Cedric with a 58, Jeff with a 50 and a 56 rating overall. That is the end of our pre-show. Let's jump straight into AEW Dynamite. And we open with a 99 rated segment. Oh, he couldn't have given us that 100. Cheeky fuckers. John Moxley opens the show with the Combat Club. It's the Combat Club now, not Blackpool Combat Club. Blackpool's out of there, thank God, because in all honesty, in real life, it doesn't make sense either. But yeah, the Combat Club, now that Brian's no longer a part of them. And he's basically just running his mouth, just saying Brian's not here tonight. But I think out of respect for Brian, we might as well hold our own earn your respect challenge. So, you know, if anyone is stupid enough to come out, then come out. And you call someone stupid, and surely someone stupid's probably going to come out. And this time, it is Andrade El Idolo and the rest of La Facción Ingobernables. So Andrade comes out and basically, to short and sweet, he's just like, John, you need to just tranquilo, my dude. Take it easy, you know, you're just always heated. Maybe you just got to relax a little bit. And if you can't relax a little bit, maybe La Facción can do something about it. And John just says, bring it on, let's do it. So opening match is the Combat Club under their new name, facing La Facción Ingobernables. 75 rated segment. I was a bit afraid to put Andrade on the mic without a script, and he struggled, but we still got 75, so happy days. Imagine what we'd get without that. Ooh, might have to script this boy a few times, see what happens. But yeah, let's get into our opening match, trios match. We've got Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler against Andrade, Rush, and Dralistico. 72, nice. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, the Combat Club of Moxley, Castagnoli, and Yuta defeat La Facción Ingobernables, Andrade El Idolo, Rush, and Dralistico in 17 minutes 30. That's a long one. When John Moxley makes Rush tap with the Bulldog choke. In terms of rim work, John Moxley was the best, makes sense, and Dralistico was the weakest, makes sense. Let's look at the stats though. Moxley in the 80s, nice. Claudio, Rush, and Andrade in the high 60s, Wheeler low 60s, and Dralistico mid 40s. Fair enough. The fact that it's got a 72 and it lost heat in this storyline, pretty magical. But the crowd got hotter, and that is all that matters. I should also mention, I probably should have done this at the start. I was kind of just keen to get into it because I know it's going to be a long one. We've got our second number one contenders match tonight. Ray Phoenix and Adam Cole. Not Adam Cole. Adam Cole. Adam Page. The winner of that match going on to Battle of the Belts in this same episode to face MJF and not Remy Sabai, which I've been calling him for the last episode and a half. Ramy Sabai. Yeah. If anyone caught that in the comments in last episode, I will give you a high five if we ever meet. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. We've got some singles action. Christian Cage probably wanted to get in a bit of practice before his match with Jeff Cobb at Battle of the Belts. And in a pretty short match, Christian Cage defeats Brian Cage. So Cage versus Cage. Bit surprising that Christian had such a dominant display. But it is important to note that Luchasaurus was ringside and caused so much havoc. It was basically a 2-on-1. 66 rated match, can't complain. Christian Cage with a 65, Brian Cage with a 54. Awesome. Let's keep going with the show. We've got a promo now from Jamie Hayter saying that she aims to get her belt back from Battle of the Belts. So that means, confirmed for later on in this episode, Jamie Hayter has her rematch against Hikaru Shida. I'm sure Britt Baker will be there, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of trouble in that match. But Jamie Hayter gets her rematch, and she wants that belt back. 65 rated segment, pretty good. Struggled going off script. It's very annoying that sometimes people are good, sometimes people aren't, but hey ho, who cares? Let's move on to some singles action. Oh my god, this is a really bad match. That's why Toni Storm sustained chronic upper back pain. Ouch. So in a decent match, apparently, Toni Storm defeats Tay Mello in 14 minutes with a strong 0. So I'm assuming Toni got injured during this match, but the trooper that she has pushed on and still got the win. Let's see if there's any comments here. Yep. Is there any heat? No, she did it to herself. Cool. We just don't want heat between people. So, yeah. So Toni has hurt herself. That's not good. It affected the match severely, but at least it wasn't Tay Mello that caused it. Following that, though, while Tony's being stretched out, we've got a little backstage segment where Dasher is interviewing Adam Page about his upcoming match. And just as he's about to get into a flow of talking about things, Bandido appears again. If you remember a few weeks ago, Bandido and Adam Page squared off, and with Adam Page winning. And the following match that Adam Page had, Bandido appeared and just kind of watched and nodded in appreciation. Bandido appears again and just kind of nods at Adam Page again, and Adam Page is like, okay. And Bandido just leans into the mic and just says, "I have your back, amigo," and pats Adam Page on the back and walks off. Adam Page is just as confused as we are, but it seems like Bandido is a fan of Adam Page and maybe wants to work with him in the future. That'd be an interesting little duo. But yeah, 76 nonetheless. Pretty good segment with these guys involved. And Bandido actually has a match next against Ray Phoenix's partner, World Tag Team Championship partner, Penta El Zero. So that's probably what Bandido's hinting at, saying, I'm going to take out his partner for you, amigo. So yeah, let's see how that match goes. 62. I thought you were better than that. But in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, though, Bandido defeats, so he definitely has Page's back. Bandido defeats Penta El Zero in 12 minutes with a surprise roll-up, so maybe not as convincing as he maybe wanted, but it looks like Penta had the better performance and, got caught with a surprise roll-up. Bandido, the cheeky boy. 67 from Bandido, 71 from Penta. Not bad. I kind of wish that was a little bit better. Based on these numbers, it should have been. But, well. Following this, I believe we have an interview with MJF, 97. Nice. MJF just says that he's spoken to Tony Khan and the three-way's definitely happening, which he's not happy about. He sees this as an attack on him because he's so good. One-on-ones aren't fair anymore, and Tony Khan is just doing everything he can to get the belt off of MJF. But MJF says this isn't going to happen. I'm still going to come out as champion. So whoever wins tonight, congrats. You get to be in the ring with me. And just storms off in a bit of a huff. 97 rated segment. Lovely. Renee doing great work as well. And yeah, it's MJF on the mic. Of course it's going to be great. Following this, though, it's not the main event just yet. We've got one final match before that, and it's just some simple tag team action. Hook and Hobbs come out, and they defeat the Von Erichs in 8:49 when Hobbs pins Marshall Von Erich with the frog splash. Ross Von Erich was the weak link. Come on, Ross, catch up with you, bro. And the best was Hobbs at 57. Yeah, not great, but it got the crowd buzzing somehow. Yeah, this match got the crowd buzzing. Okay, well, I'm glad that the crowd are buzzing because it's main event time. Adam Page, Rey Fenix, who's your money on? Let me know. Who's heading to Battle of the Belts? Let's find out. 80 rated, nice. So in a bout that had superb wrestling and great heat, Adam Page defeats Rey Fenix in 23 minutes 51 seconds with the buckshot lariat. Adam Page is your number one contender with Rami, not Remy, Sabai, and they will both be facing MJF at Battle of the Belts in about 10-15 minutes, probably. Depends how long it takes me to get through Battle of the Belts. But yeah, great match to end the show. Awesome. I think we've bounced back from that shitty collision from last week, although this is Dynamite. Dynamite are a lot more consistent. But let's finish the show and see how we did. 80. Awesome. I will take that. So yeah, that is Dynamite done. The next thing we are going to see is our Battle of the Belts. This is the second Battle of the Belts of the series, and I believe it's the 6th one of all time. I will get that confirmed, and you'll see it in the title card anyway. But let's just do a quick rundown of what will be happening at Battle of the Belts. So I've got the official match card in front of me here. Don't worry, guys. We have the House of Black Open Challenge for the Trios World Titles. We have got the TNT Number One Contenders Battle Royale, as Takeshita cannot compete, so the winner of that will face him at a later date. Hikaru Shida and Jamie Hayter. We've got Christian Cage facing Jeff Cobb. We have got Jay White facing Dustin Rhodes. We have got the main event, MJF, Adam Page and Rami Sabai. We have got Mercedes Moné facing KAIRI for her IWGP Women's Championship. And I can't remember if this match has been confirmed or not. It was hinted at last week, but I might as well confirm it now. Kris Statlander will be defending her TBS Championship against Nyla Rose. Tony Khan agrees with Kris and says that Nyla has been in impeccable form and deserves a title opportunity. Sorry, Jade, you're going to have to wait. But yeah, I believe that is the entire card. And let's just head straight into Battle of the Belts. And here we are, Battle of the Belts. It's Friday, it's Battle of the Belts time. You know the rundown. If you don't, you're going to see it, so it doesn't really matter. We dive straight in. We are at the Cure Insurance Arena in front of 8,500 people, so that's a pretty good turnout for a small event like this. And we open with just a pre-show online segment where Renee just provides an update on Sting after the brutal attack that he received at the hands of his former friend Darby Allin. She just says that he's recovering well and we should hopefully see him sooner rather than later. But once again, very shocked by the actions of Darby Allin, who is now a bad boy and clearly has it out for Sting. Kind of don't blame him, but at the same time, it's like he was trying to help, but was he? Who knows? The only people that know are Darby Allin and Sting, so hopefully we can hear more from either of them in the next couple of weeks. But that's just a little bit of news and an update for you guys on Sting. Let's move into our 2 pre-show matches because the card was just so long that we couldn't fit them all in, unfortunately. But let's head to our first match, which is the TNT 10-man Mayhem Battle Royale. So the rules of a Mayhem Battle Royale is that instead of throwing them over the top rope, you have to pin them. So there were 9 pinfalls or submissions in this match. And in a decent pre-show match, Lance Archer won the 10-man Mayhem in just over 20 minutes. So that means that he is now the number 1 contender to Takeshita's TNT Championship. The final 4 were Cedric Alexander, Rush, and Andrade El Idolo. I can see that Andrade and Rush were working together to get to those final 4, and Cedric Alexander was the final elimination and also got the most eliminations over the course of the match. Just a quick rundown of who was in it if you can't see the names. We had Alex Coughlin, Andrade El Idolo, Blake Christian, Cedric Alexander, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Lance Archer, Miro, Powerhouse Hobbs, Rush, and Sammy Guevara. Obviously, these are all from the Dynamite brand because that is where the TNT Championship is. Pretty good showing, and it kind of like highlights to me that we've got quite a good mid-card, insert Takeshita here, plus a few other names that are already on the card tonight. Yeah, pretty good. 68, not bad. Alexander was off his game. Annoying, but he was off his game, but he still got the most eliminations and was the runner-up, so can't complain. Our second and final pre-show match is unfortunately the TBS Championship. There just wasn't any room on the main card, and in my eyes it would probably be the lowest rated of them all. That might bite me in the arse, and we can find out at the end. But it is Kris Statlander defending her TBS title against Nyla Rose. And in a decent pre-show match, Nyla Rose comes out on top and defeats Kris Statlander with the Beast Bomb. That means that Nyla Rose is our new AEW TBS Champion. Kris Statlander may be regretting slightly that she didn't just give Jade Cargill the rematch and decided to be Billy Big Bollocks and offer it out to Nyla Rose. Nyla with a 61, fantastic. Kris with a 51, 60 overall, pretty good. Better than I thought it would be. But yeah, new women's TBS champion, Nyla Rose. And that takes us straight into our main show. And we open with the House of Black Open Challenge. But before they can even begin their challenge, their challengers have already appeared. And of course, it is the Combat Club. Moxley, Castagnoli, and Yuta come from the crowd before House of Black are even here, and they say, House of Black, let's just cut the bullshit. We accept. So we will have House of Black against the Combat Club for the AEW Trios belts. And Jon Moxley looked good. I mean, he always looks good. He looks a bit like, gross. Not gross, but he looks like he doesn't wash as often as he should. But that's kind of hot. You not think? No? Just me. Okay. 80 rated segment. Decent. Let's see how the match goes. 71. Okay. Not bad. So in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, the Combat Club defeat House of Black. So that is now back-to-back title changes. When Jon Moxley made Malachi Black submit with the Bulldog Choke. Moxley, Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta are your new AEW World Trio Champions. And looking at how everyone did, Moxley was head and shoulders above everyone else with an 82. Claudio second with a 67. Buddy Matthews was the next best, with a 64. Brody King, Malachi Black around the 60s, and Yuta with a 58. We need to get Yuta in more matches because he's got a lot of potential, that boy. But yeah, 71 overall, not bad. And our new Trios champions, it just goes to show when Bryant's out the picture, they seem to be working a little bit better. I mean, I don't want to throw it out there too soon. But yeah, let's move on to our next match, which is... we don't have a next match. We've actually got some breaking news. Quickly heading backstage, Tony Schiavone is there to tell us what's going on, and he tells us that Rami Sabai has been found backstage, severely beaten down, and is currently unresponsive. We don't know who did it. We don't know what happened, but he is on the ground. He's currently being seen by our medical team, so it looks like he will not be able to compete this evening in the main event trios match, a three-way match. So we can only assume that it will go forward as a singles, and Tony is just getting word now. Yes, it will now be a singles match, MJF, Adam Page in the main event. So this is a 61 overall. Who the hell would attack Rami Sabai? I mean, he's just come here. He's just joined AEW. As far as I'm aware, he's got no enemies. But yeah, he's down and out, and we hope that he makes a speedy recovery and I'm sure he'll keep his number 1 contendership as and when he is ready. But yeah, pretty sad news, because you know, Ramy Sabai, first main event, literally like 2-3 weeks after being here, and someone has to ruin his fun. But well done, Tony, for being on the scene very quick. Following this, though, I believe we now have a match, and it is the IWGP Women's Championship match, and Mercedes Moné defeats KAIRI by submission with the bank statement. So Mercedes Moné of the New Wave retains her IWGP Women's belt, and this is defense number 5 of her women's title, and I think defense number 3 with AEW. So we're carrying this belt across all the other alliances. Moné with a 59, but she was off her game, and KAIRI with a 68. This match apparently got the crowd buzzing. I mean, I'd be buzzing if I saw these two wrestle, especially in 2023. They're both at the top of their game right now. 69 overall, nice. And we move on. We continue with our Battle of the Belts with our next title match. Nope, we don't. We've got another backstage segment. Someone needs to tell me what's coming up. Adam Page is being interviewed by Renee. She says, Adam, clearly you've heard the news about Ramy. How do you react? And he just says, you know, obviously kind of sucks for Ramy. I'm not going to lie. Was looking forward to getting in the ring with him, being on different brands. It would be nice to, you know, see what he's all about. But it's now one-on-one. So that's one less person to focus on, which means it's one step closer for me to becoming AEW World Champion again. So yeah, I'm feeling confident. And Bandito's there nodding away, tapping on the shoulder, being like, amigo! Because they are now amigos. Adam Page has welcomed Bandito into his Lone Ranger clan. Was not really lone anymore, is he? So yeah, 76 rated segment, nice. Adam Page, great on the mic. And who knows, by the end of tonight, he could be our AEW World Champion. We definitely must have a title match now. We do, and it is Hikaru Shida defending against Jamie Hayter. And in a decent match, Hikaru Shida defeats Jamie Hayter in 10:55 with the Full Metal Muffler. Hikaru Shida makes defense number 1 against the former champion. So Jamie Hayter fails in her bid to get her belt back. Doesn't look like there was any external involvement from Britt Baker. That's a tongue twister sometimes. But Baker, we'll get there in the end. Baker did some good work at ringside, so I'm assuming that's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. For just being there was enough of a distraction for Jamie, because obviously she wants to get her hands on both Hikaru and Britt. But tonight she didn't succeed in getting her belt back. Hikaru is still our Women's World Champion with a 63 rated match. Not bad, it's fine. Jamie with a 62. Hikaru being outshone though with a 58. Following this, we have another title. I mean, I'm going to stop saying that we have title matches because it's Battle of the Belts. They're all title matches. Next up is a backstage segment. So after Hikaru Shida's win, we pan over to see Chris Jericho, Paige Van Zandt, and Jake Hager watching the women's match unfold. And Chris just says to Paige, "This is going to be you soon. Like, trust me. Stick with me. Stay friends with Chris, and we'll make it big." And Paige is kind of just, you know, confidently nodding, and Jake Hager's there in his purple hat, nodding too, because why not? So yeah, Jericho seems to be coaching Paige Van Zandt, you could say, and trying to gear her towards a world title match, I assume. But great little segment from Chris. He's great at everything he does, and Paige is potentially going to be a future star. You never know. So now we do head back to the ring, and it is the FTW World Title match. Jeff Cobb gets his rematch, and in a decent match, Jeff Cobb defeats Christian Cage, but it is by disqualification because during the match, Luchasaurus ran in and attacked Christian. Big old boot to the head and started beating him down. The referee had to call the match disqualification because Christian Cage was attacked by Luchasaurus, which means the title does not change hands. But Luchasaurus coming in and attacking Christian Cage, that's bizarre. That doesn't make sense. Jeff Cobb obviously furious. He's saying that he's got no idea why this has happened. He's kind of lost for words because he was so close to winning. It isn't until Luchasaurus gets out of the ring. Christian Cage rolls out, is handed his belt. That we see a smug little prick of a smile on Christian Cage's face as he high fives Luchasaurus. And it seems like that was their plan all along. Luchasaurus was to kayfabe attack Christian Cage to make it look like it was a serious disqualification in order to keep the belt. Christian Cage is shit scared of Jeff Cobb. He does not want to face him properly, but let's be honest, that's a very smart technique, a very smart plan that Christian Cage had in order to hold on to his belt. But I'm sure this isn't the end of Jeff Cobb and his rematch against Christian Cage, because he must be fuming. But that is an amazing way to end a match, let's be honest. It's fucking genius. But Christian Cage is an arsehole, as we all know. Following this, we head backstage where Jay White is talking to the rest of Bullet Club Gold. Obviously, Juice and Keith have history with Dustin, especially Keith. And they're all kind of ready to go. They're all geared up, and Jay just says to them, I've got this. You guys stay backstage. I want this guy one-on-one. Keith, you're still nursing your injury. I don't want to risk that any further. Got to take care of my boys in the Bang Bang Club. Don't worry, I'll handle this. So Juice, Keith, and Chris Bay are all not going to be at ringside. It looks like Jay White is doing this on his own. And good on him. That's what a leader should do. Lead by example. So his match is later on tonight. It is not next, because next we have that match. I'm wrong. Whatever I've written down next to me is not the correct order. So Jay White defeats Dustin Rhodes pretty convincingly as well, unfortunately, with the Blade Runner. Maybe this is the end of Dustin. I don't know if we're going back to the Bullet Club Gold Hate the Old. But Dustin very easily beaten by Jay White in a dominant display. 72 rated match. I think that's our best match of the night. Wow. And yeah, Jay White makes defense number 2 of his international title. He didn't need his Bullet Club boys. He can do it on his own because he is the Switchblade. So yeah, another defense. Let's move on, where we have a backstage segment. Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida are celebrating, saying, Jamie, you're not touching this belt ever again. As long as we are the champions. Hikaru's kind of looking for a sec, being like, we? Okay. You will not be touching the belt, Jamie. And Hikaru's just like holding her belt, feeling very proud of herself, as she should, defeating Jamie and also retaining against her. So yeah, Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida very, very smug right now, very confident. Who's going to step up and face him next? We've seen that Chris Jericho wants Paige Van Zandt in that picture. Could it be too soon? But being the world champion, she can float across brands, but it is important to note that only Hikaru can float across brands. Britt cannot. Just throwing it out there. Although knowing the game, because she's her manager, she'll appear. So, whatever. And I believe this takes us to our main event, which was meant to be a 3-way match between the champion MJF, Adam Page, and Rami Sabai. But unfortunately, Rami was attacked by someone. Hopefully, we will get to find out who that is. So now it's a singles match. MJF, Adam Page. Let's go. And in an exceptional match, MJF retains and defeats Adam Page in 24 minutes 12 by submission with the Salt of the Earth. And this is now defense number 6 of MJF's glorious world title run. 76 rated match. I'm honestly hoping for a bit better than that, especially because it's 90 and 78. I mean, let's see what affected this down here. So penalised for holding back. Why are you holding back, boy? Was penalised for the crowd starting to get burned out, okay, and was penalised due to the storyline's low heat. That's fair enough. But yeah, 76, you know, it's better than most. We'll take that. It's also our best match of the night, I believe. So yeah, let's finish the show and see how we did. 77, decent. I will take that. As long as it's above 70, I'm happy. And just to see if I was wrong, 60 was the TBS title. We had a 71, a 69, a 63, a 67, a 72, and a 76. So yeah, that was the lowest rated match of the night. So I can wipe my brow because that is good news. So yeah, some big things happened here. Lance Archer has his match against Takeshita when he is fit to compete. Nyla Rose, new champion. The Combat Club, new champions. Moné defending again. Hikaru retaining. Jeff Cobb winning, but not receiving the belt because Christian Cage is a slimy little weasel. Jay White, super easy defense, and MJF retaining again, although Adam Page put in one hell of a performance, and I doubt he's going to let that go easily. Yeah, awesome. Normally after an event like this, I start to thank people and say goodbye, but this is Battle of the Belts, which means it's on a Friday, so we best get booking Collision. Yeah, I will see you guys there. And here we are for Saturday night Collision. We can see the awful show we had last week. Let's keep our fingers crossed that that doesn't happen again anytime soon. We don't want to be losing fans. We want to be gaining fans. But before we jump into this show, we've got some backstage incidents. Robin Renegade, what have you been up to? She set up a barbecue. Oh, nice. And cooked for everyone. Awesome. And then there's QT Marshall again. Selling and psychology. Awesome. Not much else to say except let's head straight into the show. And we open the pre-show with a match between FTR and 2.0, and Cash Wheeler gets the pin, so FTR get the win in this match. 67 rated, pretty good. Didn't really have much for FTR or 2.0 on the main show, and I didn't really want FTR especially to not get a match, and it's always good to get a win even if it's on the pre-show. So well done FTR, keep going my boys. Moving on, we have got the in-ring debut of Jordan Omos, who is on the pre-show, and honestly better results than I thought it'd be. I thought that he'd definitely be in like the 30s or 20s, so 46 isn't bad. And he wins with the claw. AR Fox the victim, unfortunately. 51 overall, kind of surprising. I honestly thought this would be like low 40s at the best, but yeah, well done Jordan. Let's move on, and this is the final segment of the pre-show, and it's just to confirm that CM Punk will be in action tonight. His opponent will be revealed later. Don't worry, it's no one like out of this world, but yeah, he will be in the main event tonight in action. First time seeing him since his loss to Kazuchika Okada, so let's hope he doesn't make a habit of that. But let's open the show, and we start with the New Wave. They call out the Elite and say, look, we've heard the things you've been saying. We know that you want to get your hands on us. So how about we do this? But let's make it interesting. Let's have a best of 3 series. Tag team, trios, singles. Whoever wins the best of 3 claims bragging rights on Collision, and the other team are just shit, basically. Because obviously the Elite have been saying that the New Wave are just a poor man's Elite. They're trying to do this, trying to do that. Whereas the New Wave are saying we're sick of the Elite. They think that they run the place. They may have started at AEW, but they're not the kings of it. So yeah, the Elite immediately come out, Don Callis, microphone in hand, and just says, we accept. And I mean, it looks like we're all in ring gear. Why don't we start now? So round 1 of the New Wave versus the Elite begins, and it begins with the tag team match. And that is the Young Bucks. Of course, the Young Bucks would be chosen against the New Wave's Ricky Starks and Swerve Strickland. So in a bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, the Young Bucks defeat the New Wave in 1550 with the Meltzer driver. That's a 72 rated match. Very good, especially, you know, because Ricky Starks has normally bombs matches, let's be honest. Still didn't get a good rating, but it worked. And yeah, that's 1-0 to the Elite. They've taken the lead in the best of 3 series. The next in the best of 3, we can confirm, will be a trios match. So that would be Kenny and the Elite and the Young Bucks against Daniel Garcia, Ricky Starks, and Swerve Strickland. Got the crowd buzzing. Love to see that. Let's continue with the show, where Jade Cargill is talking to Nyla Rose backstage and saying, Nyla, you know, I think it's best for everyone if you just hand the belt over to me. I'll take it back. It's fine. Kris was too scared to face me, so she chose you, and you did your job, well done. But I'll take the belt back now. And Nyla just says, no, like, you hired me, you paid me to protect you, but I'm the champ now, so I quit. And Nyla just walks off, and Jade's like, a bitch, like what? And obviously Layla's just stood there looking hot, so she's doing her job. 59 rated, that's better than I thought it'd be, so let's hope that QT keeps giving tips to Jade, because she will slowly get there, we hope. So yeah, Nyla is done with Jade. She's taken her paycheck and she's taken the belt, so good on ya. Following this, Tony is speaking with Rami Sabai. Thankfully the injuries were nowhere near as bad as we initially thought. He just talks to Rami, just says, hey, how are you feeling? Can you remember anything from Battle of the Belts? And Rami just says, I'm good. I should be able to be back competing in the next week or so. But no, I've no idea. I was just doing my stretches and someone attacked me from behind. I didn't get to see them. And yeah, after that, it's all just a blur. And obviously Tony just says, okay, well, get better. And hopefully we'll see you back in the ring soon. And hopefully we will get to find out who it was that attacked you. Let me know in the comment section on who you think was the attacker. There's no guarantee that we'll ever find out, because unless there's a witness or a camera, we'll have to wait and see. But Rami, thankfully, is doing well. Moving on, we've got some singles action. Orange Cassidy is back. Haven't seen him for a while after he lost the belt to Jay White. And Buddy Matthews is also hot off a loss himself, losing his belt. So Collision is now Buddy's home. And in a decent match, Orange Cassidy gets the win over Buddy Matthews in just shy of 10 minutes with the beach break. 65 rated match, not bad. Orange with the 61 and Buddy with the 63. I'm just curious as to what's going to happen with Buddy now that he's not with the House of Black. Is he going to keep the gimmick he's got? Is he going to change? Is anything going to happen? We'll have to wait and see. We head backstage now, where Renee manages to get hold of Darby Allin and just says, Darby, huge shock of what happened last Collision, attacking Sting. Do you want to comment on it? Anything you want to say? And Darby just says no. What happened was going to happen eventually. Things haven't been working out between me and Sting. He knows what he did. You all saw what he did. But it's between me and him. And Darby just walks off. So yeah, still very upset with Sting. So I imagine as and when Sting retires, we're going to get some kind of, action, maybe. I don't know. Sting's getting old. We'll have to see. But post-interview segment, the camera kind of pans and CM Punk is, cracking his neck, doing his stretches, and Omos isn't far behind, just kind of following Punk like a giant bodyguard of sorts. And Punk just kind of he's like, look, Jordan, like, what is the deal? What do you want? And Jordan kind of just looks down at Punk, little smile, and just says, you keep doing you. And Punk is just like, and just carries on. There's no way Punk's going to square up to Omos. He's fucking huge. What is he, 7'3", something like that? So yeah, 79 rated, pretty good. Punk obviously is great with his acting and speaking. Obviously, he can speak good. And Omos is still just kind of following Punk around. Not entirely sure what he wants or what he aims to gain from this, but they seem to be a duo, not by Punk's choice. We move on to some tag team action, and it is a debut for Stephanie Vaquer. I think that's how it's pronounced. She is from the CMLL. Great wrestler. Saw her recently in the New Japan Resurgence show, and I watched it and I was like, I'm signing her. So yeah. Samantha DeMartin and Stephanie Vaquer team up and defeat Saraya and Ruby Soho of the Outcasts in 8 minutes when DeMartin pins Soho with the big boot. Vaquer was the weak link, but let's be honest, she would probably be the best in this match if you've ever seen her wrestle. It's mostly just down to her popularity. We get that up. She's a star. She's got 36. Samantha DeMartin with a 45, and Soho and Soraya in the 50s. She has debuted her La Primera gimmick, and it got a rating of poor. Oh, that sucks. 56 overall though. That's not bad given these ratings and such. So we will take that. But yeah, Outcast suffering a defeat. Yeah, not good. Also, is Anna Jay part of the Outcast now? Why is she not there? Who knows? Moving on, we've got a backstage interview. 79. I think that's the worst MJF has ever done. With Dasher. Dasher just says, MJF, first of all, congrats on retaining your world title. But really sad news about Rami. Do you know who did it? Do you have any, indication? And MJF is like, are you trying to accuse me of attacking Rami before our match? So Dasher, I've got nothing to worry about when it comes to Rami, and I'm actually offended that you would even suggest that. And he just walks off. So maybe that's why he didn't get the highest rating, because he wasn't given 10 minutes to talk. But 79 nonetheless, not bad. We'll take it. We head to some trios action now, where Keith Lee has been cleared to fight, so obviously he's going to be back straight away. And it is the trio of the Bullet Club Gold boys, Keith Lee, Juice Robinson and Chris Bay, taking on a makeshift team of Roderick Strong, Alex Reynolds and John Silver. They've kind of formed a little friendship backstage, so they figured they'd take on Bullet Club Gold, and unfortunately for them, they lost. Of course they did. Keith Lee's back, destroying everyone, and he gets the win with the Spirit Bomb. Looking at the ratings, Roderick Strong did the best, Keith Lee with a close second. John Silver, always impressing. I mean, what's this guy about? Like, why is he so good in this game? And then Chris Bay and Juice in the 50s. Come on, guys, come on. 67 overall. I'll take it. Let's move on. And, speaking of Anna Jay, Soraya finds Anna Jay backstage and just says, where were you? Like, what's going on? And Anna's like, what do you mean? She's like, I thought you were supposed to be an outcast. I thought you wanted to be an outcast. And Anna Jay is like, I wasn't told I was an outcast. And Soraya was like, well, you screwed it now. You're not an outcast. You're done. And she walks off very angrily with Ruby Soho. And Anna Jay's like, what? Like, I didn't know I was, what? So Anna Jay's on her own again. And it's probably for the best. I mean, she doesn't do well with teams from what we've seen in this game so far. But 53, yeah, it happens. But I believe we've just got our main event left. So, as you can see, the recent Trios champions are already flexing their kind of Freebird rule of coming over to Collision. And it turns out Claudio Castagnoli will be the one facing CM Punk tonight. And Moxley, Claudio and Wheeler are just stretching backstage, and Claudio just says he's going to be doing this on his own. He's got this. And Moxley and Yuta just go, yeah, sure, you've got this. And they just, massage him up a bit, do some stretches and whatnot. So Claudio will be coming out alone to face CM Punk in our main event. 86 rated. Lovely. And let's see how this plays out. 70. Oh, it's because I didn't click. There we go. So in a bout that had fantastic heat and decent wrestling, CM Punk gets a win. He's back, baby. Kazuchi Okada, CM Punk defeats Claudio Castagnoli in 15:55 with the Anaconda Vice. CM Punk got a 69. Nice. Although that's not nice. And Claudio gets a 60. They didn't click at all, and it made for an awkward bout. That's annoying. They probably could have got mid to late 70s then if they did click. But 70 overall. What are you going to do? CM Punk gets his win. Nice. Let's finish the show and see how we did. 75. We'll take it. Remember, anything above 70 is a win. Pretty good show. Lots of little things happening. We're on the hunt for Rami's attacker. Who the hell attacked Rami? Great debut here and a great win. MJF has denied it. And if I'm being honest, I believe him. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to do that. He chats shit, but he's not, that kind of guy. And also, I don't think he'd be scared of Rami at all. Anna Jay's definitely not in the outcast now. BC Gold getting a win. Punk returning with a win. The Bucks, the Elite, are 1-0 up against the New Wave in their best of 3 challenge. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. Next week we will have the second round of that, which will be a trios match. Kenny and the Young Bucks against the New Wave of Daniel Garcia, Ricky Starks and Swerve Strickland. Thank you very much for this episode, guys. If you got all the way to the end, well done. Thanks. We will see you in the next episode for Dynamite and Collision. No Battle of the Belts. That only happens every now and then. But yeah, thank you everyone. Please like, comment, subscribe, do it all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Yeah.